Welcome back to another video. So I'm just planning my week ahead and I've got a few interesting things going on which would make for some good videos, so I thought I'd document that and then talk about the few things what I've got going on, and then hopefully I'll make some videos around them points. So some of the things I'm going to be discussing in this video are an exciting new property investment that I have up my sleeve. I'll be talking about that first, and I'll also be going over it over the next few weeks because adding property to my investment portfolio is something that excites me, so I will be discussing that in more detail. I'll also be discussing my last buy-to-let property which I purchased which still hasn't gone through, so I'll be chasing that up and talking about that. Another thing I'll be talking about is charging a client £5,000 for my services, and it's not just one client, it's a number of clients, but the one I'm working on at the minute, he's paid me £5,000, and it's something that can really add a lot of value to your personal brand or your business if you can offer your services and charge people a sum of money in exchange for your knowledge. I'll also be discussing about Black Friday offers which can also help with my business, and I'll be creating some of those this week. And I've also got a call with a mortgage broker, so at the end of the video I'll be updating you on the figures and numbers for my new property investment. I'll also be discussing with you the interest rate and the monthly mortgage payment and the rent which I'll receive of this new investment property. So I've actually got a call scheduled today with a commercial mortgage broker, so hopefully I can get the funding which I require to be able to buy this commercial property. Then I've got a viewing on this property tomorrow, so I'll keep you updated on that. Now, if you'd have asked me last year or even a few months ago if I'd be investing in commercial property, I probably would have said not a chance. But now that I've got a number of residential properties under my belt, I actually feel the need to go and explore other avenues of property investing. So I've actually come across a really good commercial property. Now this consists of some retail shops and units, which I know a lot of people believe that commercial property is risky and that retail is dying, and I do absolutely agree, because the high street is without doubt dying. We're seeing shops closing all the time, we're seeing high street stores shutting down. You only have to walk through your local town or city centre to see dozens and dozens of empty shops. However, I do still think there are some great opportunities for commercial property, especially in smaller areas in the suburbs and outside of cities where villages and small towns actually rely on certain shops such as barbers and hairdressers, beauty salons, butchers, newsagents, general things like that, which can't be purchased on the internet. Now, you can't have your hair cut on the internet, so people still need and require shops. You can't drink a coffee through your computer screen, so going for a coffee is something that will still be around for many, many years to come, because obviously you have to physically drink the stuff, and people also like the social get together or having a little sit down and chat with their friends. So again, coffee shops, cake shops, anything like that should still thrive in certain areas around the suburbs and cities and the outskirts of towns. And also another positive about commercial property is the fact that it can be converted into residential. Now, the property that I've looked at, I have no plans of converting into residential, but it's always in the back of my mind as a backup plan should one of the shops or maybe the upstairs floor of the building, if that lease comes to an end and no other business wants to rent it, then I'm in a good situation where I can convert that into residential and perhaps make even more money per month than rent from that. So it'll definitely be interesting to have a look around the property, and I do feel that I'm in a good position to negotiate a price because obviously, as I mentioned, commercial property is seen as a bit of a risky proposition. So I feel that I'm actually in a good position to negotiate a price on this deal, and I'll definitely be making another video and keeping you updated on that. So something else that I'm working on this week is I'm doing some work for a client. Now, I'm charging this client £5,000 for my services, and again, this is something I'll be discussing in another video, and I'm going to be explaining how you can actually build a client list and charge clients thousands of pounds for your services. Now, I won't go into detail on what I'm actually doing. It is based around my other online business, where basically I teach and help a small number of clients to actually set up a business the same as the current business that I do. Now, this is not something a lot of business owners are willing to do, but I am, and I do have a few clients where after I've taught them how my business runs and the whole business model, some of them actually pay me quite a handsome fee to set up and get their business off the ground. And this is something that I've been doing for the last couple of years now. It's actually a good way of making large sums of money from your services. So yeah, that's something else that I'm working on this week, and something else that I'm going to be cracking on with. The next thing that I'm going to be working on is my investment portfolio. Now, I know I've not done any videos lately on my portfolio and my current investments because I just haven't had the time, and to be honest, I haven't actually invested that much over the last couple of months. However, I am going to be investing in a number of stocks and ETFs, which I think will be beneficial for the future. So I'll also be creating some videos showing you my latest investments, and hopefully these investments will grow in the long term. So I'll also be making another video on that next week. So if you're not subscribed to the channel, please make sure you hit the subscribe button so you don't miss that. So I'm on my second coffee of the day already. I only normally drink one, but it's absolutely freezing. So the next thing that I'm working on at the minute is some Black Friday offers for my business. Now, I don't normally like Black Friday. It's not something it's something I try not to do, but these days it's very hard not to. So if you run any type of business or you have a product or offer a service, then I do highly recommend that you do set up some Black Friday offers, because in this day and age, a lot of people sort of expect you to offer them a deal around this time of year. It's just become the norm, and almost every business is doing it. So if you do have a product or service or any kind of business, then you should definitely set up some Black Friday offers to bring in new clients, or to basically, rather not just so much about selling more products, but to actually make more awareness around your brand and your business. So that's something I'm working on at the minute, and because my businesses are all online, I shall be creating some Black Friday banners and discount codes and things like that. Next up is the 6th buy-to-let property, which I purchased about 5 flipping months ago, is still not gone through, and I've been on and on at my solicitor for the past couple of weeks now, and I don't seem to be getting anything back. Most of the searches and all of the requirements to buy the property have been done. We're just waiting for a completion date, and everything's done via an app nowadays, which, to be honest, isn't great because they never reply, and it's really pissing me off. So I'm definitely going to be chasing that up this week, because I really want the keys to the new buy-to-let property probably within the next week or two, because the problem with getting the keys to a property this time of year is actually getting a tenant in before Christmas can be quite challenging, and a lot of people will then put it off for another couple of weeks, and I'll end up with a month or two with no tenants, which means no income, and it also means me paying out council tax and things like that, which I don't really want to be doing. So I really need to chase them up and get this sorted, because I think it's been 12 weeks now, and that's just a joke, to be honest. It should only take probably half that time, so I've no idea what's going on, but I'll definitely find out. So it's the following day, well, it is for me anyway, not you, obviously, and I've just been to view the commercial property which I mentioned, and I've also spoke again with the mortgage broker. Now, this has raised a few issues for me, because firstly, the mortgage broker informed me that one of the deals that he found after he took all my information and assessed the property investment, because it's a commercial property, the interest rate was a whopping 5.75%. Now, this is just extortionate when you think that you can buy a buy-to-let residential property and you can get an interest rate of around 1.5% or 3.5% if you're buying in a company. Now, because this is a commercial property and it's renting out shops and retail premises, the lenders actually charge a far higher interest rate, and this eats up into all your profits. So for me, this is a really difficult situation because I do like the property, I do think it's got potential. There are a few red flags, one being one of the shops on the upper floor, the lease has actually expired on that and I don't think they're going to renew it. So again, this is an issue, and the lender will probably see this as a red flag too, and because of this they probably won't lend the money. A couple of other issues with the property. One of the empty areas is a bar area. Now, as we know, the pub and bar industry is not going great and is in decline, so I think it'd be very difficult to actually lease that area of the property out. Another problem, the seller wants £275,000 for the property, and I just personally think that's well overvalued. So unless he can come down to below 200,000, then it's not looking like it's going to be a good deal. Now, as promised, I'll go through the figures and numbers just to give you an example of what I'm actually looking at. So we're basing this on a purchase price of £220,000, and that's presuming that he would come down to that, which I don't think he will. But anyway, based on £220,000, I'd have to put in around £70,000 deposit. Now, at this extortionate interest rate of 5.75%, I'd be paying over £700 per month just for the interest side of the mortgage. Now, at the minute, the whole property only receives around £1,200 in rent. So, as you can see, it doesn't really give me much of a profit margin, especially if one of the shops is not renewing the lease. Then, from an investment point of view, it's really not looking like a good investment at all. Now, there is a lot of potential with this property. The upper floor can be converted into 2 apartments, which would definitely increase the rental yield and the monthly income, and it's definitely something I would do. But again, this is just an added cost, and at the minute it's not something that I would want to pursue because obviously the cost and the time and everything it takes to do that. But actually, while I was viewing the property, I noticed that another property across the road had also come up for sale. So I've just checked that out. It's actually up on a sale and leaseback, which means you buy the property off the person and then you agree to lease it back to them. So this is a smaller property which is actually a butcher's downstairs and has a flat upstairs, and this is up for sale for £155,000, and the rental is just over £1,000 per month. Now, when you compare this to the £275,000 property which I've just been to view, then this cheaper property offers a far higher rental yield and also a much safer proposition. So I might just check that one out instead, and if I do, I'll obviously keep you updated on that. But what I've learned in the last couple of days is I can definitely see why people are put off by commercial property. Not only is there a higher risk factor in terms of businesses going bump or not renewing their lease, but lenders are just so cautious that they're offering ridiculously high interest rates, which obviously will eat into all your profits as an investor, which in turn makes most commercial property unviable. Now, I'll definitely see how this plays out over the next few weeks. Maybe the vendor will come in and say, look, he really wants to sell, so he'll give it me at a lower price. Who knows? Maybe I'll buy the one across the road. I'll definitely pursue that. And I know I haven't actually given much value in this video. I feel like I haven't actually give a lot away. It's been more of a video of my personal updates and what I'm doing. So I hope you've enjoyed that, and I know it's been a little different. So please leave your thoughts in the comments below. And again, I hope you like the different style of video, and I'll catch you in the next one.